here we go. This is a heavy boat for this little 15, but let me tell you, this thing purrs like a kitten. Welcome back out today for another outboard test. We're going to be testing the Mercury 15 horsepower against the Mercury 25 horsepower on this Lund 14-foot Deluxe. It's a 1980 Lund Deluxe. Got a 1985 Mercury 25 horsepower. This was in my last video, running against the Johnson 25. This is a 400cc two-stroke engine. And then this is a 15 horsepower, 262cc two-stroke engine. And we're going to see what kind of difference we get on this heavier 14-foot boat. Last year I did a video between the Evinrude 15 horse and the Evinrude 25 horse on a really light 14-foot boat. And it was about 25 miles an hour for the 15 and about 30 miles an hour for the 25. So we're talking a 5 mile an hour difference. But we'll see how these two perform on this heavier Lund today. One thing I want to point out is getting extra power and speed is always good, but the fuel burn should be a pretty big difference between a 15 and a 25 horse. Generally, the rule of thumb with two-stroke outboards is you take the horsepower, you move the decimal point over 1, and that's how many gallons of fuel you burn at wide open throttle. So a 15 horsepower, you're going to burn about 1.5 gallons an hour. It's a little bit more than that at wide open throttle. A 25 horsepower, you're going to burn about 2.5 gallons an hour at wide open throttle. Both of those is generally going to burn a little bit more than that ratio, but that's kind of a good rule of thumb to look at it. So let's take a look at these engines, and then we'll take a look at this boat. So right here we've got a 1996 Mercury two-stroke short shaft. Got the standard 10-pitch prop on it. Pretty nice prop, besides a couple of paint flakes that are not on there. Nice used motor. Runs like a champ. Put the statistics as far as the weight goes here in the screen. Really nice looking and performing 15 horsepower. Then we've got my 25 horsepower here. This has a 13-pitch prop. Prop is pretty fresh. Couple of small dings in there, but for its age, it's a nice prop. This is pretty much an unchanged block from 1981 all the way up till they quit production of the 25 two-stroke. And then what we have here is my 14-foot Lund Deluxe. Now this has a solid floor to it, a couple of seats. I'm going to be bringing my trolling motor and a battery. Always do that just in case I break down. Got a way to get in since I'm not carrying oars and I'm not going to be rowing. But this is quite a bit heavier than your standard 14-foot boat that does not have a floor and all the extra weight. So I'm actually going to pull this off. We're going to put the 15 on there, go out, get a run. I'll GPS it. We'll see what we're doing with just myself in there, and then we'll throw the 25 back on and give this a run and see how that does. first pull. What a beast. Starts in the water. All right, guys. We're out here with the 15. I've not driven a 15 in all of this year so far. All been 25s, 30s, whatnot. So this will be fun. We'll go over the top fast. We'll see how she does, guys. An acceleration test. Here we go. This is a heavy boat for this little 15, but let me tell you, this thing purrs like a kitten. hit a top speed at 21.4. I was seeing her run right around 20. A little bit over, maybe 21-ish is where she was constantly hitting. I mean, she's a smooth, quiet little motor. This thing just sips the gas. Empty. All right, guys, you just saw the 15. Now, time for the 25. All right, be like over the top. So we switch that around. We know we're gonna go fast. So here we go. Let's get this puppy going. What a beautiful day. Into the wind, I registered a top speed of 29. I was seeing about high 27s. Alright, now I'm on some calm. Let's do a little acceleration test. Alright, I'll go as slow as I can. Say 3 miles an hour. Marks. Keep it at 3. March, set, go. quite a difference over the 15. You feel that torque difference, but either way, you can't go wrong with either motor. That's for sure. Well, guys, there you have it. 25 horsepower was about 6 miles an hour faster. I actually just checked the data from my video last year between the Evinrude 15 and the Evinrude 25, and my speeds there were 23.5 compared to about 30. So that was about a 6.5 mile an hour difference. And we're about the same here. We're getting about 21 miles an hour compared to 28. So about a 7 mile an hour difference. 6.5, 7 mile an hour difference, which was pretty impressive. This 25 just cranks. So what would you guys like to see next? Think here, you guys want to see the 296 15s battle it off, or should I go back to one of the larger twins, maybe a 35 versus 25? I actually have a 1980 25 horsepower. I could run it against the 35. That would be interesting. So I don't know, let me know in the comments. But do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button for me. I appreciate it. Take care. God bless.